Hi, BookTube. All right, before he claws me to death, there was your Bernard sighting. So, hi guys, Sarah here, and I believe welcome to another weekly reading vlog. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday the 21st, and it's about 6:30 at night. Apologies, I just got out of the shower, so my hair is still wet. I let it air dry for a bit before I brush it out. I put some stuff in it to make it easier to brush out. And then I let it air dry for a bit. So anyway, I had planned on sitting down and recording this before I got in the shower. And when I got out of the shower, I went, oh gosh darn, I was supposed to do that. So here I am. So, first of all, I'm not going to get into a bunch of stuff right here, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm okay. I am doing okay. I have my moments. I'm still having a lot of moments during the day. Something will be said, or I'll see something or hear something, and I'll get teary-eyed again. And yeah, it's still hard. It's still unbelievable. You know it happened, but it's still hard to believe that that person is gone. So I wanted to thank all of you so much for your comments on my life update video. I was overwhelmed with the condolences and all those things, and I really appreciate it. And also personally too, from people in my life. My mother has heard from people who used to play baseball with Dad 10 years ago, or used to bowl with him 20 years ago, people he used to work with. It's been overwhelming in a good way, you know what I mean? He was very much loved by a lot of people. So yeah, so I just wanted to say something about that at the beginning. And he wouldn't want me sitting here crying all the time. So, I'm just, I need to get back to living life again and trying not to be so sad. I'm sleeping better. I'm eating better. Today was the first day I've really been actually hungry. Like, I've been eating, but today was like the first day I was like sitting there because I'm back to work. I was sitting at work and it was like 1 o'clock, and I usually take my lunch around 2, and I was starving. So I'm like rooting through my lunchbox or my lunch bag looking for like, where's that granola bar I threw in there? So, that's good. It's positive. Just because we're not thinking about the person all the time doesn't mean that we don't miss them. And I think that's part of the grieving process, is that you feel like, if I do something I enjoy, if I decide to pick up a book or pick up my knitting, or, and I'm not sitting here sad thinking about them, it means that I'm forgetting about them, but that's not the case. The person would want you to continue doing and living your life, And I mean, when it's a parent too, they're always going to be around. And I was saying to my mom today, she called me at work, and she said she was watching one of the programs that her and Dad used to watch, and there was a really funny part in it, and she said she started laughing, and she said she could hear Dad's voice laughing as well. So it's little things like that. I'm trying not to cry. That hit you. Driving home today in the car, traffic in the city and stuff like that. And some guy cut me off, and I was, shaking my fist, and I could hear Dad beside me, like, give your head a shake, he would say at people like that. So, you don't forget. And I think you honor the person by, holding on to their memory and telling people stories and, things like that. And I think that's what helps. So anyway, I just wanted to address that at the beginning. Thank you for listening. But yeah, so I do have some good news to share with you guys. And, like I said, I wanted to kind of come back into my normal routine because things are about to change for me again. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. So, the good news is that, well, all this happened with Dad last week. On the Friday, I got offered a new job, and I start my new job on the 3rd of February. So I am super stoked, you guys. I am so excited. I have I have only a few more days left at my current job. My last day will be this Friday. So I do have a week off in between jobs. That's mainly because I have my surgical procedure next week. A week today, actually, next Tuesday. I'm going to be in the hospital. I have to be there at 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning. My brother is driving me in, and I sent him a text. I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to need you to pick me up at 6 a.m. He writes me back. He's like, that's fine. His job is the kind where as long as you make your 8.5 hours or whatever it is, he's like, the earlier I come in, the earlier I get to leave. So, really, he goes, it's win-win for me. So he's going to take me in and I will be there overnight, which I knew that anyway. So I will be staying the night and then I will be coming home on Wednesday morning. So I finish work on Friday and I have the weekend and Monday to relax. Tuesday and Wednesday are kind of hospital stuff, but like I should be home by like 9 or 10 o'clock on Wednesday morning, which is fantastic. And then, so it's only like really about 24 hours from start to finish, like the time that you're in the hospital. And if I remember the last time, once I got to sit up and, start moving around afterward, which happened like at like 5 o'clock at night, I pretty much felt good. I was tired because of the anesthetic. And I'm pretty sure I went to bed relatively early, but I slept very, very well at night. So, I'm looking forward to just having the quiet time. And then I'll be home, like I said, home on Wednesday. And then I don't start my new job until the following Monday. So I've got, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to relax and enjoy. And yeah, so I'm super stoked. The company I'm going to is much smaller than where I am now. It's a completely different industry. It's still like a customer service. The job description is like order desk, customer service, admin assistant. So it's kind of like a general gopher, which is fine. And I love that because where it is now is like I'm tied to email all day long and all I'm doing is answering problems all day long. Whereas here, I'm going to be doing a lot of different things. I'm going to be doing order entry. I'm going to be dealing with some custom stuff. I'm going to be ordering supplies for the break room. Like, it's a little bit of everything. And I'm very, very excited about it. The company makes granola and granola bars. That's all I'm going to say. It's a very small company, though. It's not like a huge... I think the gentleman that I interviewed with told me there's something like 16 people in the office. That's it. So it's a very small family-owned or privately owned company. So I'm super, super excited. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. So that's the good news. It's always nice to have a bit of good news in a darker time, you know what I mean? And when I was debating on taking the job or not, like when I got offered it on Friday, I really wanted it. But I thought with what happened, with that much of a loss, should I really be, suddenly changing my job? And then I thought, Dad would want me to do it. Like, seriously, he knew how unhappy I was, or I am where I am. And, he would be like, don't let me hold you back. Just take the job, No matter what, he was always proud of me and my brother. Sorry, I'm trying not to keep doing this. I can feel the tears starting. But yeah, he would be very proud and very excited for me. So, and at the end of the day, when you think about it, my brother and I actually had to write Dad's obituary, which was the most difficult thing I think I've ever done in my life. I would have rather written a 2,000-page essay on War and Peace, and I've never read War and Peace, than write that. But I didn't, it wasn't the kind that goes in the paper necessarily that, you list the, survived by so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. This actually goes on the funeral home's website. So it can be a bit longer, like you're not set to a certain number of words, if you will. So we included a lot of things about him personally, that he traveled a lot when he was young. He went to Australia, he went to Europe, that he loved spending time with his grandkids, that he loved sitting with my mom and just watching TV. He played softball, he bowled, he took up golf in his retirement. But nowhere in there did we put anything about what he did for a living, because it didn't matter. He had a job, he provided for his family, And that, at the end of the day, is what means something. Unless you're like a brain surgeon or, a soldier or something like that, if you're working in like a business type office, your job shouldn't define who you are, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. You shouldn't live to work. You should work so you can live. And, as long as you are getting by and you are able to enjoy your life and you are happy with what you do, and that's the main thing. Yeah, we didn't mention Dad's work, but he did enjoy what he did. He was a stockbroker, a very stressful job at times, but he was a broker for 35 years almost. And then when he was kind of forced into retirement when the company was bought over by somebody else, and you guys have all heard this story a million times, it happens to every company pretty much. He was let go, and he took a couple years off. He was in his early 50s. And then he started working for his buddy, driving a cube van, delivering clothes to Harry Rosen and Tommy Hilfiger, and he loved it. He loved it because he loved talking to people. He loved going into these high-end stores and talking to the sales girls and the sales guys and, all those things, and the other truckers, and he loved it. Absolutely loved it. I mean, what a career change from one to the other. But yeah, just because he was so social, it was the perfect job for him. So anyway, sorry, I'm trying not to make this all about Dad, and I do apologize for those of you who aren't interested in hearing it, but I think it's cathartic for me in a little ways, to let you know how awesome he was, because he absolutely was. So anyway, so that's the good news, is that I have a new job. So now, because this is a reading vlog, let's talk about some books. So I want to talk about some books, and I do have something book adjacent. I am going to, Alice, like Steve Donahue, and open mail. Sorry, it's really shiny. This is book adjacent. It's not a book. It's not even a slim volume of poetry. This is my stickers for my reading journal. So I wanted to show you guys because I just got them in. I got them in yesterday in the mail, and I thought, okay, I had planned that I wanted to restart the vlog today, and I thought I'm going to hold off on those and show them to you guys. So, reading. Because you guys haven't seen a vlog from me in a couple weeks, I've finished 4 books since the last time I did a vlog. I finished Dawn and the Big Sleepover. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. I think it was, it was called. I think I gave it like 3 stars or something. And then I finished Cold Nose, Warm Heart by Mara Wells. That one was delightful. Absolutely delightful. 4.5 stars. As I'm trying to get back into things, I'm hoping by the time this vlog goes live that I will have my written review on the blog, which will be linked in the description box below. So feel free to go ahead and check that out. It was delightful and adorable, and if you love dogs, you definitely need to read this book. It was so good. Pretty sure it was the author's debut work, and she did a really good job. I really liked it. It was also a semi-sweet romance. I don't want to say it was sweet because there was some adult content in it, but it was all behind closed doors. So, whatever you are more comfortable with. And then I finished reading or listening to on audio Reckless in Texas by Carrie Lindell. It was okay. I think I ended up giving that one 3.5 stars or 4. I don't think it was a 4-star. 3.5 stars. Sorry, I'm a little muddled because I finished these like, a couple days ago. It was good. If you like rodeo, you will like this one because the author talks a lot about rodeo in this one. Like the ins and outs and how things work. And it's almost like the reason I think it got a lower star rating from me is because as a reader, you are kind of expected to know how these things work. If any of you have ever read the Brooklyn, is it Brooklyn Bruiser series? I wanted to say Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but that's not it. The Brooklyn Bruiser series by Serena Bowen. I find that she had a lot of scenes in those books that were very hockey talk, where you were like, the scene would be they would be playing a hockey game, and it's like you were there. It's like so-and-so passes to so-and-so, and, into the crease, and something about a net, and a stick, and then there was fighting. I don't know much about hockey. There was a hat trick. I don't know. But, like you're kind of immersed into that. and it feels like you're there, like you're listening to a play-by-play by an announcer. It was the same with this book with Rodeo, where it was very technical. That's the word I'm looking for. It was very technical. So yeah, but it didn't really, because it happened so often, it was kind of like, okay, I don't really understand what you're talking about at this point. But it's okay. It was still good. It was very, very spicy. I'll warn you of that one. Very spicy. Still really entertaining, and I did enjoy it. And then the last book I just finished was right here. And this was The Doctor's Texas Baby by Deb Kastner. This is a love-inspired romance, so it's an inspirational or a faith-based romance. I gave this one 3 stars. It was okay. It wasn't great. I didn't much care for our female lead. What was her name? Carolina. She kind of, I don't know, she was very flighty, and I didn't really care for her. It was the whole secret baby thing where the two of them had one night together, and then she leaves town knowing she's pregnant and doesn't tell him, and you guys know, it's the same thing in a lot of different romance novels. It wasn't the best execution of it. I mean, it was still enjoyable, and, you know, it was entertaining, but it wasn't spectacular. I wouldn't rush out to read it if I were you. So, but, you know, like I said, entertaining. So, what am I currently reading? I am currently listening to, and I've needed things the last few days that are just, and I hate when this term is used. You see a lot of non-romance booktubers use the term fluffy, but there are some books that are fluffy, but when they categorize the entire romance genre as fluffy, that's where I have an issue with it. But Bernard's going to scratch up his little scratching box over here. But, excuse me. He's protesting the fact that I had him on camera. That was for you, Brie, by the way, if you're watching this. That was for you, because I know she always likes seeing the cats. So anyway, really? Are you not done yet? I've lost my train of thought now. When you categorize the whole romance genre as fluffy is when I have a problem. But there are some romance and mysteries and stuff that are considered to be a little bit more fluffy. They're not, a lot of brain power is used. It's just light. It's entertaining, and that's what I've been reading, and I've really been enjoying it. So on audio, I've been listening to Peach Cobbler Murder by Joanne Fluke. This is book 7 in the Hannah Swenson series. It's a cozy mystery. I am a third of the way through it, and the murder has finally happened. Like, you got a long chunk of this book that was build up to the murder itself. So, but it's been really good. I enjoyed this series a great deal. It is a cozy mystery series about a woman named Hannah Swenson, who runs a bakery called the Cookie Jar in her small town in Minnesota. And she stumbles across all these dead bodies. And she has just found the body. And her mom calls her, Dolores, her mother, and calls her and says, Hannah, you've got to stop doing this. It's not ladylike. And it just makes me laugh. So I've been enjoying that one immensely. Oops. I'm currently reading in hardcover, of all things. I got this one from the library. This is Window on the Bay by Debbie Maycomer. This is exactly what I've been needing in a book right now. This is entertaining and enjoyable and is not taking a lot of brain power, and it is super sweet. So this is not a typical contemporary romance. This I would consider to be more women's fiction. It's about 2 women who are actually now empty nesters. Their children are now in university, and they are divorced, and they are kind of moving on to the next stage of their life, and that's pretty much what this is about. The chapters kind of alternate between the 2 friends. It's Jenna and Maureen, and Jenna is a nurse, a ICU nurse, and Maureen is a librarian. So yeah, it's been really, really cute. I'm about not quite halfway through it. There's my bookmark right there. The pink tabby is where I want to get to by the end of tonight. So, because yeah, I still have, I think, 5 or 6 books to finish before the end of the month. But like I said, I'm off all next week. So lots of reading time next week, which will be fantastic. And then my next Harlequin shelf book, as I'm calling it, is Night Smoke by Nora Roberts. An old Nora Roberts. I was so thrilled when this one was randomly chosen. This is from 94, so it's what? Over 30 years old? No, not quite 30 years old. I can math. But this one is about an arson investigator and a woman who, so the story starts off with this fire at this woman's warehouse. She has a warehouse that holds, like, stuff for her business, and arson is suspected. and he is the fire investigator who is investigating the fire. I'm like one chapter into it, but the initial prologue, you guys, was amazing. I mean, Nora Roberts, I haven't read her in so long, but she really does have such a way of writing. Like the opening prologue. I'm just going to read just this little bit at the beginning because this so painted a picture. So it says, fire. It cleansed, it destroyed. Within its heat, lives could be saved or lives could be taken. It was one of the greatest discoveries of man and one of his chief fears and one of his fascinations. So it's kind of told through the eyes, that prologue, by the arsonist. And yeah, so far, like I said, I'm only a chapter in, but so far it's quite good. And I'm really looking forward to reading more of this one. And last but not least, the only other, sorry, I was sitting kind of funny. The only other thing I'm reading is my Nancy Drew book. I have not picked this one up in probably over a week. And that is Smile and Say Murder by, of course, Carolyn Keene. I think it's the 4th or 5th book in the Nancy Drew Case File series, which is the series that came out in the 80s. And yeah, I'm enjoying this one. There is something going on at a teen fashion magazine, and Nancy has been hired to find out what's going on. I think in the original series, the ones that have the yellow spines, Nancy was like, I want to say she was 16, or was she 18 in that series and 16 in this one? I can't remember. I want to say she's 18 in this series though, so I think she's actually a little bit older than she was in the original series. But if you guys know, let me know. Am I wrong? Am I right? What? Am I confused? Highly possible. So that's all the book stuff. I'm just looking at the time. Okay, 21 minutes. We're not doing too badly. I don't want this vlog to be ridiculously long. I'm just getting my scissors out so I can open my package, so I can show you guys what I got for my subscription. So this is from Sweet Kawaii Designs, and this is my monthly subscription. I do get it every month, and it is the it's like the whole monthly kit. And I am very much the kind of personality that likes everything to match. When I'm doing something like this, like if I'm doing something that's like in a notebook or something like that, I want it all to match. So even though, like in a way, month to month, they're not necessarily going to match. Like January's theme was like winter, February's is like Valentine's Day. I cannot remember what March's was. I don't know if she went with St. Patrick's Day or not. I think it might just be spring. I don't know. But even though that doesn't match, the whole month will match. And in a way, the whole thing matches because I'm using only her designs, like only her stickers and stuff. So yeah. So sorry guys, trying to get into this bright and shiny package. I didn't want to cut it because I was afraid of ripping something. So that can go over there. So it comes in this little bag. Sweet Kawaii Designs right there. Sorry for the glare that you guys might be seeing. So let's break this open. I'm so excited. So excited to open this up. And we just ripped the paper. It's good enough. So yay, it is. Okay, yeah, and it was like an Irish St. Patrick's Day theme. So I'm going to open these up and I'm going to show you guys what I got. So sorry for the crinkling if you hear it. So first of all, because I got the whole kit, I get the monthly overview. So these are the stickers. So there's the monthly overview. So there's the March banner. And then you get another like big, thick, like kind of a washi tape. And then another one actually, which is kind of cool. And then you get the days of the week if you have just like a regular calendar. Like she gives you a lot of stuff in here so you can decide exactly what you're going to do with it. So then, let me turn that upside down. And you get kind of like a list thing here. Like lots of icons that I wouldn't necessarily use because this is a reading journal as opposed to a planner. I kept saying it all month and I haven't done it yet. I want to go buy at like the dollar store, one of those little small ones that you can just throw in your purse, just so I can use some of these extra stickers. You've got your date stickers. Let me just see if I can focus. There you go. So you've got your date stickers here, which are very cool. And then these are some of my favorites. Sorry, there we go. Okay. Although I don't know why I just did that because I'm going to show you guys this. But these are your wacky holidays. You get 2 sets of these wacky holiday stickers. There we go. So every day there's a different like holiday or wacky holiday. So some of them are like Earmuff Day, There is Goof Off Day. That's on March 22nd in case anyone wants to mark that on their own calendar. St. Patrick's Day, of course, on the 17th. Nap Day is March 9th. I fully support that day. Puppy Day, Steve, on March 23rd. Crayola Day is on March 31st. I noticed, though, oh, my birthday is Cheese Doodle Day. March the 5th is Cheese Doodle Day. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh, Daylight Savings Time is on March 8th. Yay. I prefer the one in the fall when you fall back and you gain an hour. I don't particularly like the one in the spring where you lose an hour. So, yay. And then, this is the rest of them. Oh, so, she did change it up for this month. That other months, what you would get would be like a postcard that had like a big image on it. And I really, really like the postcard. But I guess a lot of people were saying that they didn't like the postcard. And now she's doing a giant sticker. So that's pretty cool. So you could just use it as like a little postcard kind of an idea. Or you've got a giant sticker. So let me get this out first. Come on. Sorry, the paper is like, it sticks to it. So here is the giant sticker. And this is awesome. Cereal Chiller. That is awesome. I love it. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I have no idea. But I'll have to try and figure it out. So we shall see. So I got that. And then with the monthly kit, with the subscription, you get a lot of extras that you wouldn't normally get if you just buy the kit. You can go on her website and buy this kit, but you're not going to get all the things. Like you're not getting this big sticker. I think you have to buy this separately. This is the little March calendar, which I do use. And then you get like this little extra. I'm covering up the code with little extra stickers and stuff like that. And then again, your wacky holidays, you get that. Sorry, I'm kind of not trying to go through this quickly, but you know. And then these are like, this is the color scheme, and you get like each of these is like a little bar. And she says people use them like to fill in gaps on their planner. I use them at the bottom of each day to write in my page count total for the day. I love those. And then you get some, like these are the things that I would use in a regular planner, like, you know, what you're going to do every day. Like I've seen a lot of people use these to like meal prep or, you know, if they got their water that day or what have you. Then there's like other little icon stickers, like this one says Hello March, and Let Spring Begin is down here. You get some little bannery thingies. Super, super cute. These little check mark stickers too. I love those. I love the color scheme of this one this month. It's so awesome. Let me know if you guys want me to continue to do this every time I get one of these, like, because I'm happy to show you. These boxes. I use these at the top of my planner to write in what videos I plan on doing for whatever day it is. So those are pretty awesome. More of these like big box stickers with pictures. They're just so freaking cute, you guys. Look at him dressed like a little leprechaun. Oh, it's so cute. It says Happy St. Patty's Day. This one in the middle. It says today sucked. I love that. Oh, the things that make me happy, you guys. A lot of icons, again, that I generally don't use, like bill payment stuff, birthdays. I do put the birthday stuff in if somebody's having a birthday, so I'll use that for my own birthday. Just saying. What does that say? Oh gosh, I need my glasses. Happy Friday. Over there, that's cute. Very cute. And then more like, I guess people use these as habit trackers, like if they got their water that day. These are the weekend banners. Some bigger boxes. More cute icons, which I love. Again, there's the cereal chiller one. I love that one. Just growing with the flow, must clean, make every day count. Absolutely, guys, make every day count. And then you get, these are more date stickers, and then the actual days of the week, like Friday, Thursday, whatever. And then 2 pages of bottom washi stickers with the St. Patrick's Day stuff. So yeah, so that was that. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing those. So again, it's Sweet Kawaii Designs. I will leave her shop linked in the description box below. You can buy these kits if you still want to get them. But there's some of the extras that you don't necessarily get unless you sign up. And, you know, not that I'm not sponsored or anything at all like that. I'm not one of her like team or anything like that to you know, I've got no codes or anything to give you guys, unfortunately. But what I do love, the reason I signed up for the monthly kits is because it's free shipping worldwide and you get the extras. So what happens is when you sign up is that automatically on the first of the month, your money comes out for it, and then it ships on, I think, before the 5th. So it's a little bit delayed coming to Canada, but I got my stuff on the 20th. So it takes about 3 weeks, but she does ship 2 months in advance. So I've got March's, and it's not even the end of January yet. So the money will come out on the 1st of February for April's kit, if that makes sense. So yeah, and April's kit is up and it is super adorable. She does do a thing on her YouTube channel doing a whole reveal showing you everything that you're going to be getting. So, and you can pick different sizes. Like if you have like a smaller planner or a bigger planner or whatever, like this is the horizontal size that I get. She also has vertical. She has itty bitty. So if you have like a little planner, you know, but yeah, absolutely awesome. And I love her stuff. So anyway, guys, that is all that I have for today. I'm going to let you guys go. How long was I talking? About 30 minutes? That's standard for me. But yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is the 22nd of January. It is about 10 to 10 at night. I almost forgot to do this tonight. As you can tell, I am sitting in bed. I just finished reading Window on the Bay by Debbie May Comer, and I really enjoyed this. I think I'm going with about a 4-star rating on this book. It was very sweet. This is a women's fiction novel, and I think I've talked about kind of what it's about. It's about 2 women who are now empty nesters. All of their children have moved out. They're both also divorced. They're best friends. They met in college, so they've been friends for a good long time. And it's just kind of about their lives, like over the course of, it takes place over the course of about 6 or 8 months. It was a little bittersweet at the end because the epilogue goes 5 years in the future, and I'm not going to, you know, share too much, but one of them had a death of a parent. And so it was kind of mentioned, you know, how the mother passed away a year earlier and she was 79, and, you know, made me a little bit sad when I think about that. But yeah, this was really enjoyable. It's a clean romance. There's absolutely no adult content in this at all. I mean, Debbie May Comer, I think a lot of people are familiar with her and with her work and what she writes. Sorry for the glare off the book, you guys. But this was really enjoyable. If you really want a really nice, sweet read that will just make you happy and not and entertain you and not, you know, I can't say any more than that it just makes you happy. Like they're like a nice hug. I know that sounds weird, but it's true, and that's what these are like for me. I have not read, it's been a long time since I read a Debbie May Comer that wasn't a holiday inspired book. So this one was really delightful. But her holiday stuff is great too. But if you like her holiday work, I would definitely recommend giving this one a try. Other things that I've read today, I got a bunch more read in Peach Cobbler Murder by Joanne Fluke. I'm about 68% of the way through that one. I should actually finish that one tomorrow, maybe, we'll see. And then I also, what else did I read today? Oh, I started a new book today. I actually started reading, it's just a novella, it's only 68 pages long. It's called Ready or Not in Dogtown, and it is by Sandy Rideout, I believe. Sorry, just gotta switch hands. Because at work today, a quick little life update thing, is that most of my accounts have been taken away. I mean, not like I've done something wrong and they've taken them away, but as you guys know, I'm leaving my job as of Friday, so my accounts have already been redistributed. And so it's been quiet for me. I'm still getting emails from some of my customers and I'm answering them, but anything... Can you guys hear that? That's the wind. That's crazy. It sounds like a freight train. So anyway, it's, you know, anything that's going to be, you know, something that's going to take more time or last over a few days, I'm passing off to the people who now have my accounts. So it was quiet for me at work today. And unfortunately, because I was reading Window on the Bay in hardcover, I did not have an e-copy. And I mean, even though I was just sitting at my desk, I couldn't exactly pull this out and like sit and read it at my desk because they would frown upon that. but for some reason looking at your phone is perfectly acceptable. So I looked and I had it. It's the first in a series. The rest, this book you actually had to pay for. It was 99 cents. Oh, that's Goran crying. I don't know what. I'll have to go check that out in a second. And, but the first book you had to pay for, but all the rest of them are available on Kindle Unlimited. And this is really cute. The series is about a small town. I don't know what state it's in, but it's called Dorset Hills, and it's called Dogtown. It's like the most dog-friendly town in America or something like that. And like I said, this is just like the prequel novella. It's cute. I got about 60% of the way through it. I thought for sure I'd finish it today, but no, I will definitely finish it tomorrow. But yeah, so I'm going to go check on Goran and see what he's crying all about. And then I'm going to go to bed. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hi guys, happy Wednesday. It is just after 7 at night. Thursday. It's Thursday, not Wednesday. But I just jumped on to share this with you really, really quick because I thought this was just adorable. I will be coming back later with an actual reading update. But I've gotten my mother addicted to audiobooks. That makes me so happy. The reason is because, I read them all the time and I talk about them all the time, and she always used to make a face, like, oh, an audiobook, like, oh, that's not real reading, and I know a lot of people, I'm not going to get into that whole controversy right now, blah, 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 but especially for somebody like my mother, who, how many years ago was it, 11 years ago? She had a stroke, and she used to be a vivacious reader. Like, she would read constantly. She could finish a book in a day or two, like a 400-page book, she could finish in a day or two, and she loved it. But then after the stroke, she stopped, she can't read as quickly, and unless the book is larger print, or she has her Kindle, which my brother and I bought her a couple years ago for Christmas, she would actually need a ruler or something to be able to, especially if it's smaller print. So it takes her now a good month to get through a 400-page book, because it just, I don't know if it's an attention thing. I think it's more that she gets frustrated because it's almost like the stroke caused a dyslexia or something. I don't know if that's a thing, but she had to relearn words. She said she knew what the word was, but she couldn't put to what it meant. She knew the word cat, but she couldn't connect it to a cat, if that makes any kind of sense. Your brain really gets messed up after a stroke, and it's really, really unfortunate. So anyway, I've been talking a lot about audiobooks, and then about a month or two ago, it was probably back in the fall, she was talking about a book that she wanted to read, and I can't remember what it was called now, but I went and looked on the library, because I sometimes download books for her on my, I connected her to my library card so she can borrow books, and ebooks, and I looked at it, and it was available on audio as well as ebook, and she said it was only 5 hours long on audio, and she says, I think I'd like to try the audiobook. And I said, okay. So there's this long wait time on it, and it finally came in the day before yesterday. So it came in on Tuesday, because today's Thursday. So I didn't get a chance to tell her about it till yesterday morning. So I had showed her already how to use the app and all those things, the Libby app, and she downloaded it yesterday, or she started listening to it yesterday, and it was only 5 hours long, but she just called me tonight. I finished it, and I really liked it. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. She goes, I'd really, really like to listen to the new Linwood Barclay, which is Elevator Pitch. She loves that author. He's a Canadian author, by the way. He used to write for the Toronto Star or the Toronto Sun. I think it was the Star. And he actually wrote humor columns for the Star, much like Dave Barry, for those of you who are familiar with Dave Barry, who used to write for the Miami Herald. But anyway, I am a big fan of his. But anyway, she's like, I really would like to read that one. And I looked and I said, it's available, because sometimes it comes up on, I don't know if it's everybody's library is the same, but they have these limited time, if you see it, grab it, that a book that's got a long, long wait, they will make some copies suddenly available, but only for 7 days, either audiobook or ebook. And I said, it's available as both right now, Mom. Oh, I want the audiobook, right away. She wanted the audiobook. And she says, I want to read all the things on audiobook right now. And I think it's easier for her. She finished that one book in a day and a half, and she loved it. She said she puts it on her tablet, and she listens. And she said she can play her games online, or she can, she says it's better than just mindlessly watching television. She goes, at least I'm doing some reading. So then she says, like, and I said, we could put it on your phone, like, she's got a smartphone. And I said, you could get headphones, or she doesn't even need headphones because she's now at home by herself, that she could be doing the dishes and listening to it. She could be doing laundry and listening to it. She got so excited. So I really think I've moved her towards audiobooks. So now I know I'm constantly going to be getting requests. Can you find this, please? Which is fine, because I am very much of the opinion of an audiobook is reading. I don't listen to as many audiobooks as I used to, but especially for somebody like my mom who has a more difficult time reading, people who have dyslexia, like, who've always had dyslexia, or people who don't have like sight, or, there's a lot of reasons as to why somebody would find an audiobook easier to listen to, or to consume books that way. And, I think that's great. And anyway, I just want to come on here and share that with you, because I just thought it was kind of adorable, and it is reading, of course, related. So, as she says to me, she goes, well, how long is it? And I said, it's 12 hours long. Oh, I don't know, in 7 days, can I read 12 hours? I said, it's a little bit less than 2 hours a day, Mom. Oh, I can do that, she says. It's adorable. And then she says to me, she said something about, she goes, because she's watched Outlander, but she's never read the books. And I said to her, I'm like, I said, I own Outlander on Audible, so there would be like no time period for her to get it back, like for her to give it back. And she's like, oh, well, how long's that one? I said, I think it's like 30 hours. Oh, I don't know. And I'm like, no. I said, if you're going to listen to any book on audio, it's going to be Outlander, because it is amazing. But anyway, I rambled enough. I have to go and get some dinner, and I have to go and shower, so I get ready for work tomorrow. My last day. Yay. But I'll be back later to update you guys on my reading for today. Talk to you in a bit. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It's about 9:15 now on Thursday night, and I thought I would have a chat with you before I go and head to pick up my husband from the train station, or from the subway station, from work. And, sorry, trying to get comfortable here. There's Master Goran. That black lump is Master Goran. He's sweeping. So anyway, reading update, or actually I'll give you a little bit of a life update for today. Second last day of work. Tomorrow is my last day of work. And today, two of my coworkers from the Canadian side of the customer service team took me out for lunch, which was lovely, and I really, really thought that was sweet of them to do that. So that was fun. And then I have had not much to do at all. I'm getting 3 or 4 emails, and because my manager, of course, already let all the reps and stuff know, the regional sales managers know, and sent out, notification. This is who Sarah's leaving. This is who the new person to contact, the new customer service rep to contact will be. My accounts are being split up amongst the 3 or 4 girls in the U.S. In Buffalo, and one of my reps, one of my customers in California, he was adorable. He sends me an email and he says, "I'm sorry to see you go," and blah blah blah. I've had like 15 or 16 emails from my reps, thanking me for everything that I did, knowing that we were put in a bad position with everything that happened last year, and saying, they appreciate that I did my best and it wasn't me, and they understand why I'm leaving, and the stress, like every single one of them mentioned stress. So I thought that was really, really awesome. So anyway, the email went out, so all the reps are now starting to contact the other people in Buffalo. So they're not really contacting me. So at 3 o'clock today, I'm like, I'm gonna go home because I've got nothing else to do. So I stopped at Walmart and I had to pick up some of my meds before my benefits are gone. I have benefits at the new place, which is good, but it's a 3-month wait to, of course, right? And Garrett will have benefits as well. So he'll actually probably get them about a week or so before I will. But in about 3 months, we'll both have benefits, which will be great. But anyway, I wanted to get my medication filled before then, so I have that done. And then I picked up a couple groceries, and now I'm just kind of, I'll be honest, I'm panicking a little bit about my finances, or about our finances, because while Garrett's getting a paycheck, It's not a big paycheck, and I am losing a week's pay next week. So, because I'll be off for my surgery. If it wasn't for that, and I actually debated this week, like after the fact, I thought, sugar. I should have maybe tried to rebook my procedure. That probably wouldn't have been able to get me in for a few months, but I just thought, so I don't lose that week's pay, but it was kind of already too late to do that. So, yeah, we'll figure it out somehow. The end of the month is always the worst. I don't know if you guys are the same, but it's like rent is coming out, car payment's coming out. It's like, and you're trying to play like, a jigsaw puzzle with your paycheck. Like, what can I fit here? What money can I put over here? And I just had to make a payment for our cable and stuff like that. So, or not our cable, but our internet and phones and stuff. So, yeah, we'll figure it out. Sorry, just venting about that. If it's not one thing, it's something else, right, guys? And the way I look at it, in a few weeks, I'll be like, we'll be okay. By mid-February, we'll be back on our feet. It's just we got to get through this last few weeks. So, and I think, you know what, I need the time off between jobs, and I think that's, like Garrett said, he goes, just relax. He goes, we'll get it all figured out. So, we'll see. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to burden you guys with that one. I've been okay. Did I mention? I don't think I mentioned in my little clip last night. I had a rough night last night with thinking about Dad, because it was a week since he passed, and I said to my mom, I called her, and I was upset, and I said, Bernard, don't eat my yang. And I said to Mom that, because a week earlier it was 10:30 at night that the hospital called me, and a part of me just kept glancing at the clock, and I was just feeling really anxious. And, once I talked to Mom, and I'll be honest, I had a good cry. I felt better. I think that's what I needed. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Sometimes you just need that. So I'm better today. A part of me still, it's funny because we have a pension plan through work, or like from where I used to work. And we just yesterday, or just on Tuesday, got the year-end statement from the pension plan. Both Garrett and I are part of it because they allowed your spouse to be part of it too. And I was starting to wonder what happens to my pension plan after I leave the company. Like, can I do a cash out? Can I transfer it to my RSPs, which for those of you who are not Canadian, registered retirement savings plan? Can I put it into a locked in, something or other? So, and my first thought is like, oh, I'll give Dad a call. He'll know. So it's those little things. He was, as I used to joke, he was my financial planner because he was a broker for so many years. He knows finances and he knows money and stuff like that, or he did. So yeah. Anyway, reading update. You guys gotta see this. Yeah, Bernard is scaling the couch currently. Bean. Anyway, sorry, reading update. I did finish a book today. I finished reading that novella that I was talking about, that Ready or Not in Dogtown. It was only 68 pages. What are you doing? He's walking across the back of the couch. What are you doing? Yeah, sniff my finger. It was cute. Only 68 pages long. It ends on a cliffhanger. Like, it's not, and I kind of appreciate that for a novella. But I looked and I thought, okay, so her story is gonna continue, or their story is gonna continue in book number 1. No, they're not until book 7. I gotta go through the first 6 books before I can get to the rest of their story. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it was cute. I think I gave it 3.5 stars, I think it was 3.5 stars. Anyway, I finished that, and then I am almost done reading Peach Cobbler Murder by Joanne Fluke. Book 7 in the Hannah Swenson series. I will finish that one for sure tomorrow. I've got less than an hour or so left. A little over an hour, I should say, left. And then, what else did I get read today? Oh, I started reading Made for the Rancher by Rebecca Winters, which is the second book in the Sapphire Mountain Cowboy series. This is one of my TBR jar picks for the month. So, yeah, I'm literally a chapter into it. Pretty much the story is about a guy who it's the brother of the guy from the first book. This is the second book in the series. And he's like a rancher or something like that. And it's near this, it obviously takes place in the Sapphire Mountain area in Montana. Am I right on that one? I think it's Montana. And they and then so he works at this ranch, and then our main female lead, Jasmine, she's seeing a guy right at the very beginning and decides, it's time to break it off. I'm not really feeling the same way about him that he feels about me. And they're on a trip together, which is never a good time to break up with somebody. And that's just a life, a life lesson that you should learn. And they end up in a plane crash. And they crash, right near this guy's ranch, and the story will go from there. So I'm like a chapter into it. I'll update you guys more on that one tomorrow, because I will be, of course, at work tomorrow. And, of course, it will be another short day, because I'm just going to probably leave at like 3 o'clock or 3:30, because, like, why not? Yeah, so anyway, so that's that. I'm trying to think if I got anything else read today. I read some more Nancy Drew this morning, and I read another chapter of the Nora Roberts book that I'm reading. It's right here, sorry. The Nora Roberts book, Night Smoke, which I'm enjoying. What I'm finding interesting in this, and this was written in 94, which, yes, was, what did we figure that out to be? 30 years ago? Roughly? A little over 30 years ago? Or less than 30 years ago. In 2024, it would be 30 years, right? Yeah, okay. Because in 2022, my brother will be 40. So in yeah, okay. So it's a little bit less than 30 years old, but still. Our main character, Ryan, is a smoker. And he smokes quite a bit in this book. He's constantly lighting up a cigarette. And it just kind of made me go, really? Like, I figured by the 90s that was no longer going to be common. Like, that wouldn't have been as commonplace in books, as it might have been in the 70s or 80s or whatever. I know when we got later in the 90s, I don't think I recall seeing it, but I just found it very, very interesting. And it's, not my only takeaway, but, of course, as well, he's a very much an alpha male as well, too, which is not generally my favorite. I'm more a beta male fan. Give me your geeks and your shy guys and your, those kind of characters. Those are much more my jam, if you will. So yeah, but it's good. I mean, it's fun to read these old books. This is the whole reason I did the 40 Years of Harlequin project last year, was to read through these old ones just to see how much romance novels have changed. Like, there is so much in here that people would probably find quote-unquote problematic. The smoking is the least of that. But, and he's a firefighter to boot. So, but anyway. So yeah, so that was pretty good. So that's about all that I have for an update tonight, you guys. I guess I'll check in with you tomorrow. It's Friday. Yay! Talk to you then. Bye, guys. Hi guys, happy Friday, or wait a minute, Saturday. I'm not even wearing my watch, but I know it's about 12:30 in the morning, on Saturday morning, I should say, but we'll call it Friday, because I haven't gone to bed yet, so it's still Friday. I've been up since 6 a.m. I'm exhausted. I was falling asleep on the couch about 3 hours ago, but had to go and pick up Garrett from the train station, or the subway station, so yeah, so we got home about a half an hour ago, and I was kind of updating a few things on my laptop, my reading progress for the day and stuff like that onto Goodreads, and now I'm heading off to bed. But I thought I would give you guys an update. Today was my last day at work at my old job. Yay! Super happy. And I am off for the next 9 days. Yay! Except for the day I have surgery. Boo. But that's, 24 hours out of my entire 9 days off. That's not a big deal. So yeah, so I am super stoked. Today was rather boring. The last few days have been rather boring at work. Not much to do, which I'm not complaining about. I didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to. Today was, because it was my last day, I was saying goodbye to a lot of people and, those kind of things, right? Cleaning up some last things in my inbox. Left with my inbox clean. I have no idea what it looks like now, nor do I care. Handed back in my key fob that I used to get to the building. I remembered to wipe my laptop clean of anything personal that was on there, including the internet and stuff like that. Like, because I'd been there for 6 years. I used the same laptop for 6 years. So, at work I'd log on to my banking website, things like Goodreads and stuff like that. So I was cleaning up, deleting all the passwords that were automatically saved and all that stuff. Not like I was doing anything that I shouldn't have been doing at work, but I just didn't need the IT team, when they came to pick up the laptop, to have access to my banking information. So, that's kind of a thing. So I got all that done, and so then after work, I left work at like 3:30. I'm usually supposed to be there till 5, but it's my last day. What were they gonna do? Fire me? Um, I left at 3:30. I picked up my aunt, and then my aunt and I met my mother and my brother and my sister-in-law and my niece and nephew over at a restaurant for dinner. We were kind of going for Dad. I think I mentioned this in another clip that him and his sister, my aunt, used to play euchre together every Wednesday with the seniors. And, unbeknownst to my dad and aunt, they are seniors as well. But, Dad would always joke about, like, these old people that they play euchre with. So, it's really cute. So anyway, they would pick up my mom after euchre, and the three of them would always go for dinner. So I said, kind of to honor Dad in a way, let's all go out for dinner. So we went to one of his favorite restaurants, which was Perkins. I don't know if I think you guys have them in the States, I'm pretty sure. So we went there for dinner, and that was fun. And then I came home, and I did some reading, I did some knitting, and tried not to fall asleep on the couch, and went to go pick up Garrett, back now. But I got that second wind while I was out driving, and that's always what happens, because you've got to focus so much on what you're doing that you kind of really wakes you up a little bit. And it's pouring down rain right now. I mean, pouring down rain. And it's supposed to last for like the next 24 hours. It's not going to be fun because the ground is frozen. There's still snow everywhere. So unpleasant, but regardless. So reading update for today. It was funny when I got home. Sorry, side note. When I got home from being out for dinner, I thought for a few minutes about actually sitting down and doing a Friday Reads to post today. But then I thought, well, that's kind of overkill. If I'm doing the vlogs, why on earth would I do a Friday Reads? I thought, oh, maybe I'll just sit and just talk about what I'm going to read this weekend. But then I'm going to be like, but then you're going to see that in the vlog anyway. So kind of overkill. If you guys would want me to do a Friday Reads, let me know. It'd probably be like a 5-minute long video. Or the other thing I was thinking, because I kind of like doing the Friday videos, is, I could do like a Friday book haul or something like that, because I, show you guys what books I get from, like, that I pick up during the week. If anyone's interested in seeing that, I'm happy to do that. Let me know in the comments below. So anyway, because I know book hauls are kind of hit or miss on BookTube. A lot of people like them, some people don't, but you guys know me, 90% of what I buy is on deals. So if I did them weekly, you guys could kind of see what's on sale and stuff like that. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. So, reading update for today. I finished reading. Yeah, I finished another book. 13 books so far this month. Not too shabby considering the kind of month that I've had. The fact that I've gotten any reading done in the last week or so I've been very pleased with, because, I'm still having my moments. I had to, when I was over at my aunt's today, I had to call my uncle, my dad's brother, to discuss him picking me up from the hospital on Wednesday morning. And they don't sound alike. Like, their voices are not similar, his and my dad's. My brother sounds a lot more like my dad on the phone. But my uncle has a way of speaking and certain phrases he used, because of course they are brothers. I got a little teary-eyed after I talked to him on the phone. It just kind of reminded me of Dad. Yeah. I have my moments, and that's okay. But anyway, reading before I start crying. I finished Peach Cobbler Murder by Joanne Fluke today. I think I ended up going with 3.5 stars on it. It's, that's a good rating for me. I mean, 3 stars is average. I liked it. It was entertaining. It was enjoyable. Is it a fantastic book? No. It's exactly what I needed. It's a cozy mystery. My thing with this one, though, is that the murder didn't happen till about a third of the way through, and then the resolution was like the second or third last chapter. So really, it was only 60% of the book was like mystery part of it, like of the cozy mystery. The beginning of it was build up, and then the last bit was like other stuff that, not other stuff, it kind of had to pertain to the killer and stuff like that. But I do think now, reading this one, you should really read these in order, because somebody's revealed to be somebody else, kind of an idea that you met in previous books. So, you know, I do recommend maybe this is a series that you read in order. I know with a lot of contemporary romances, I say you don't have to, because the stories are all individual to the individual couples. But it is nice to, it would be nice to read them in order, because you see how each couple kind of matches up as you go through. But with a cozy mystery series, because there is a definite narrative, like an arc to the actual series itself, it's stuff that I recommend that you do read in order. And this one, definitely, now that I've read this one, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, could you just jump in anywhere in the series and just try them out? Absolutely. But to go with the narrative arc of the series, I recommend that you check them out in order. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I got a little bit of reading done today on, what the heck is that book called? It's by Rebecca Winter. The cover will be here. Why am I drawing a blank? Made for the Rancher by Rebecca Winters. Sorry guys. Again, it's 12:30 in the morning, and I've been up since 6 a.m. It's clearly time for bed. So anyway, I started that one today. I think I mentioned it briefly yesterday. It's about a woman who was kind of seeing this guy, and they end up going on what she thinks is going to be a vacation, but it turns out to be kind of like a work-related thing. And no spoilers, this is like right from the very beginning of the book. I'm only about 3 chapters in. He asks her to marry him, and she turns him down. And it's like, you know, I've realized now, I thought this was a vacation, but you're more of a workaholic, and I'm not in love with you, so I can't marry you, kind of an idea. But they both come from political families. It's kind of that sort of dynamic. So about 5 minutes later, the plane crashes because a bird flies into the windshield. And then they're rescued by our male lead, whose name is, it's a really different name. Wylan, I think? Wyan? Maybe W-Y-O-N, Wyan? I can't remember off the top of my head. Her name is Jasmine, and he kind of like comes to their aid in the plane crash, and he makes sure that that the both of them are okay, but he assumes that the two of them are a couple, when in reality, 5 minutes earlier, they kind of broke up. So now it's after the plane crash, and Jasmine and our male lead are trying to figure out how to spend time together. So I guess the relationship's gonna kind of go from there. It's cute. I'm enjoying it. And I did get, or I plan to actually, you know, maybe get even just a few pages read of this before I go to bed. Night Smoke Again by Nora Roberts. I talked about this one before. Yesterday's clip I talked, you know, I haven't read very much from yesterday, but I would like to get this one done hopefully by Monday. So yeah, so I'm enjoying this one too. So anyway guys, that's about all that I have for today. I will be doing my final clip for this vlog tomorrow, and then this will get posted on Sunday, and that's when you guys will be watching it, hopefully. So yeah, I will talk to you guys then. Bye guys. Hi everybody, it is Saturday night. It's the 25th of January, and it is about 8:30 at night. I am decided to sit down with you now and talk very briefly about the books that I read today, which wasn't much. And I do want to show you guys my knitting, which is how I like to end these vlogs. So those of you who are not interested don't have to sit through it. So reading update for today, not much, like I said. I only read, like, I'm about 40% now of the way through Made for the Rancher by Rebecca Winters. I'm enjoying it. It's cute. It's very old-fashioned, it seems to me, and I think that's the author, because I've read her before. Obviously, I read the first book in this series, but I think it was like last year or the year before, so I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure from reading this author before that she tends to write slightly older-fashioned, you know, romances that, you know, there's, like, it's almost like the two characters are courting each other. It's kind of delightful, like 40% of the way through, and I don't think they've even kissed yet or anything like that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's really, really cute. So yeah, that's like I said, all I got read today. I did not listen to any audiobooks today. I've got one audiobook left to read this month, and that is Act Like It by Lucy Parker. But I have like a bunch of days next week, so I think I'm going to save it. It's only about 8 hours long, so I think I'm going to save it and listen to it next week, like during the week, when I'm kind of just relaxing at home doing some knitting. So yeah, that's about all that I have reading-wise to share with you guys. Today was kind of a very lazy day, my first day of vacation, quote unquote. I slept in till 8 o'clock, which was late for me. Usually I'm up by before 6, so I slept until 8. I mean, it was a late night. If you watch my last clip, it was 12:30 when I was talking to you guys. So I got up and I actually sat here and I edited all the clips I've already done. So I wanted to get this one filmed so I could get this one edited as well and set this one to upload for tomorrow morning. So this should go live at 8 tomorrow morning is what I'm hoping. And I think I'd like to continue to try and do that going forward instead of trying to edit the entire vlog on a Sunday, to do some on the weekend if I can. So yeah, so I did that, and then Garrett and I went grocery shopping, and then came home and I had a late lunch. I had a late breakfast. I didn't eat breakfast till like 11:30. Bowl of what did I have for breakfast this morning? Fruity Pebbles. I still have some left from the ones I bought when I went to the States in October. I know some of you might be like, "Oh, that's gross," but no, I didn't open the box until like about a month ago. But that's okay. So yeah, because you can't get Fruity Pebbles here in Canada. Used to be able to when I was a kid, but not anymore. So I tend to buy at least 1 or 2 boxes when I go down to the States. So I had that for breakfast, and then of course grocery shopping, and then I had a late lunch, so I didn't even have lunch till like 3:30. And then I sat and I actually organized my reading journal for next month, for February. So you guys want a little sneak peek? I changed a couple things to how I had it before, so you learn as you go, right? Like what tends to work. So here was January's, like this is like the first page where I write every day how many pages I wrote in that day. As you can see, it was kind of squished because I know it's kind of overkill having 2 calendars, but these are just so cute I can't not use them. So then this is now February. So I made the calendar part smaller and I was able to put that up there. And then this is going to be where I put my page count, like where I put the number of pages I read. And then, oops, I decided to handwrite this time, my TBR. I'm kind of holding it back because I will be doing a TBR video next week. So yeah, so I've used the February stickers. And yeah, I really, really like this. I think it's super, super cute. Then I'll just quickly show you guys one of the pages. So here's kind of like what the weekly pages are going to look like. And then I did do something different for the end. So here's January's. So what I did for January's was I just put, you know, like my January, what I read. And then I list the books as from what I've read, and then I put the star rating that I gave it. So it's kind of a nice way for me to keep track in my journal of what books I read. So I did decide to change that in February, and I'm really, really happy with this because I'm really excited to do this. So I wanted to start keeping track of the book buying that and I shouldn't have put book buying. I think next month for March I'll put like acquisitions or something like that, because it's not just books I buy, but like books I check out of the library, or if I get them from NetGalley. So you get these neat stickers, and I've never known how to use those. Now, I know people who have like proper journals would use this maybe to, you know, this is what we're gonna have for dinner this week, or, you know, what gym like exercises you're gonna do that day. So it's Monday through Sunday, but I wrote the number, like the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, so this won't start till the 3rd of February, which is fine, whatever. But then I'm going to write in these little spots the number of books I buy that day or acquire that day. If it's a 0, I put 0. That's fine. And then at the end, I've got these here, and I've put in here at the end of the month, I'll write the number of books I've read, and then the number of books I added. So I add all these numbers up, and I put that number there. And then I go, you know, my total from January of books that are on my TBR, you know, minus the books I read, adding the books I added, and then I get my new total. So I'm going to do this every month because I thought it'd be kind of a fun way to keep track. So then over on this side, just exactly the same as I did for January, I'll just start listing, you know, the books I read with their star rating. So that'll be kind of fun. So yeah, so that's what I spent some time this afternoon doing, which was really enjoyable. I find that very relaxing to do, and I just, I love, like, you can already see how thick the journal's getting. It's going to be pretty thick when it's done, which is why I'm glad it's got this elastic on the front to keep it all together and nice. But yeah, so I'm enjoying doing that. So I did that this afternoon. What else? I had a nap. Yeah. I think that's kind of a thing you have to do when you're on vacation, is have a nap. It's an unwritten rule. So yeah. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's about 8:30. I haven't even had dinner yet. So I'm going to be doing that very shortly. I think I'm just going to make like macaroni and cheese or something simple. I don't feel like anything big or heavy. You know, I just kind of want to sit here tonight, do some knitting, reading, watch some booktube. That's my game plan for tonight. But, so, now I'm going to get into the knitting content. But before I do, this is kind of the segue into that, if you will. So if you've been watching me for a bit, you know in January, I decided to start a new project, which was to add more squares to my blanket throughout the month. Unfortunately, in January, because of, you know, what a kind of bad, horrible month it has been, that I did not read nearly all the books I had on my TBR. I think I read off of my original TBR maybe, at this point, maybe 5 or 6 out of the 27 that I had on there. Now, I've read other books. I've read 13 books so far this month, and I should finish 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, maybe 19, 18 or 19 books this month, which is pretty good. I mean, I'm not complaining about that at all. But off of my original TBR that I talked to you guys about at the end of December, it was only like 10. So what I did though from that original TBR is that I was pulling yarn, minis of yarn, and adding them to my blanket for every book I finished that on my TBR. So I didn't get as many this month. I will still get 2 more. So including one I'm going to open, I'll have 2 more. So I'll have 5 more to add to my blanket still. But I wanted to show you guys the other 2 that I opened earlier this week. This was before I started recording. I think this was last Monday. So I haven't added these to my blanket yet. So that's maybe what I'll sit and do tomorrow morning. And while I'm watching some booktube or something in the morning, or listening to a podcast. I like doing that too. So I don't remember what books I finished these for. I think oh yes, this is the one for Cold Nose Warm Heart. I have absolutely no idea what the colorway is. I'm pretty sure this is No Makers, and I think it's a Christmas colorway. It might be Under the Tree. I think I have a full skein of this, like a big skein of this. But yeah, this is really, really pretty. And then the other one, I really don't know what this one is at all, but I think, again, it might be a No Makers, just from the way it's wound, you can kind of tell. I don't know what the colorway is, but this was for finishing Reckless in Texas. So those are the next 2 that are going to go in my blanket. It won't matter once they go in the blanket what books they were or anything like that. But I did finish yesterday. I finished Peach Cobbler Murder, so now I get to open this one. So I was going to open it earlier, but I thought, oh no, I'll wait and I'll do it on camera. So I'm going to pop this one open. Ooh, this is a colorway from my friend Mandy. Look at that. This is another No Makers. Again, you can tell by the way it's wound. And I'm almost certain that this was a Valentine's Day colorway. I don't know what it was called. I wish she dyed yarn still. She is one of my favorites. Can you see the subtle sparkle in there, you guys? Oh, that's going to be fun. So that one will go in next. So that's going to be tomorrow morning's project, will be to add those into the blanket. And I can throw this out. And I think tomorrow as well, or maybe Monday or, well, Tuesday I'll be in the hospital. Maybe Wednesday when I get back, I will reopen. Excuse me for reaching you guys. But I have all of these ones in here that I did not get to. So I'm going to dump all these out. And I might not even do that. I might just, you know what? I think that'll be easier. I'm just going to scratch off the book titles, like put a line through it, and then write the new book title on it for February. So that way I'm not wasting these envelopes. I think that's a far better idea. Less waste, right, you guys? I mean, it's bad enough that I'm wasting paper to put these in, but whatever. So that is that. So I don't have my blanket to show you guys because I haven't added anything new to it. I'll show you guys my blanket next week so you can see what's been added into the blanket. But I have 4 knitting things to show you. 2 new things I cast on this week. And yeah, so let me show you. I'll show you the new things last. We'll start with my sock, because I always like starting with my sock. So it's been a couple weeks since I showed you guys my knitting. So I got a lot of progress done on my sock. I think the most progress got done on my sock because it's the easiest and most mindless thing I can knit, and that's why I always love having a sock on the go. So this is my running through the snow socks. So there's where I was 2 weeks ago, and this is where I am now. So I put in a contrasting heel, and I've never done this before, and I was super stoked, and I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. So what I did was I used a different color, and I just stopped knitting with this color and just added in this color and put the heel in. So, and then I picked back up this color. And what it does is, especially for self-striping socks, is you do not lose the striping sequence in your socks. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that. And the color kind of goes, it's just the heel. So what I think I'm also going to do is when I get to the top and I do like the 1 inch of ribbing that I do, I'm going to use the same color here and then do the ribbing at the top of the sock too, just to make it a little bit more uniform. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with this. This is, who's the yarn dyer? Night Owl Fibers, and this is the Dashing Through the Snow colorway, and I love it. And if you're new and you have not seen this yet before, that's how she winds her self-striping yarn. Isn't that awesome? So I really, really love it. So yeah, so I'm especially enjoying knitting on the double pointed needles because I haven't done that in a while, and sometimes it's nice to knit a different way. It makes it a little bit more interesting, I think. So yeah, so that's my sock. Then the other thing that I've been working on a little bit, well, I've been working on a lot of things, but the things that you guys have probably already seen is my sweater. I'm almost done. I think I have 2 more rows. Oops, I dropped this. 2 more rows, and then I get to bind off the back piece and start knitting, I think, the front panels on this. So this sweater is knit in pieces, and then you seam them all together at the end. So this is in bulky weight. So this knits up very quickly, but the snowflake is where I was, so I got that much done. It's not a lot, and this is just essentially a big triangle, or a big rectangle. Kind of boring to look at. The pattern is called the Dottie Cardigan. I'll leave link to all the patterns I talk about below. And yeah, I really, really like this. It's going to be so cozy. My goal is to get this done for my birthday, which is in about 6-ish weeks or so, so 5th of March. In case you're looking to buy me a present. Just kidding. So yeah, so I am looking forward to getting that done. Garrett's birthday is next week, you guys. He'll be 44. 44! How did I marry an old man? So yeah, so that's that. So then, like I said, I decided to cast on new things this week. So Garrett and I got talking, and for those of you who I've mentioned it before, my husband does knit. He doesn't knit very often. Once in a while he'll pick something up and he'll knit a row and be like, I'm good for a bit. He used to knit a lot more, but he doesn't so much anymore, and that's fine. But he wanted to make a pair of mittens for himself, like fingerless gloves, but he wanted the kind that are convertible, so like it becomes, like it would have a flap on it, would become a full mitten. And I think he tried to knit himself mittens before, but he got really, really confused with like having to do the thumb hole and stuff. And I've knit half a dozen pairs of fingerless mitts, so I'm good on them. So I told him, I said, do you want me to knit you a pair of fingerless mitts? I've never knit him anything. And he's like, yes, please. So he had this yarn in his stash, because he does have a yarn stash. And he's like, and he was very like, you know, like, be very careful with this yarn. This is my pride and joy. And I looked at it, and it's Madeline Tosh. And I said, I gave you that. And he says, oh yeah, I think you did. I said, that was my sweater. So I have a sweater called the Campside Cardi that I knit in this yarn, but I had 1 skein of it left over when I was done the sweater, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I gave it to Garrett because it's a brown, so it's a perfect guy color, right? So there's the yarn. It's called Pecan Hull is the colorway. Isn't that pretty? So I have a sweater, like a cardigan in this color. So I cast him on a pair of fingerless mitts. That's all I've gotten done so far. Not terribly interesting. But yeah, these are going to be convertible. I'll put a picture of them up here because I do have the pattern, but the picture's in black and white and it's difficult to see, so I'll put it up here. The cool thing about this pattern is you can knit either the mittens as either fingerless or convertible, and I should say, so you can knit them one of 2 ways, and they have sizes toddler to adult large. I'm knitting Garrett an adult medium because his hands aren't horribly big, but I kind of want to knit a pair for myself afterwards as well, because if you can see in the picture, it's got that line up the front, and what that is, it's slip stitches, without giving the pattern away, because again, it's a paid for pattern, but there's slip stitches in there, and slip stitches don't really work for a solid colored yarn, in my opinion. You lose them. Solid color yarn is great for cabling because you'll see the cable, but if you want slip stitches, it's best to have multicolored yarn because each like slip stitch kind of is a different color. So I'm gonna knit a pair for myself after I've knit the pair for him, because I think that convertible mitts would be great. I'd love them for my car, for driving back and forth to work, because, you know, in the first thing in the morning, you want the full mittens, but once your car warms up, you know, I can just pull the one part back and just drive like that. So I've already found the yarn I'm going to use for mine. You guys want to see it? I already put it in a bag, so I would have it to the side here. After I'm done Garrett's, this will be for me. I've had this in my stash for a while, and it's so pretty. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is Honeybee Knits. I don't know if she makes yarn anymore. The colorway is called FOMO, F-O-M-O. I don't know what that stands for. Is it something bad? Like, is it a not safe for work thing? I'm afraid to Google it. If anyone knows, please let me know. But I just thought that was so pretty, and I love the greens. I am a fan of the greens and the blues. So you're getting like little pops of other colors in here. I just thought this would be really pretty as a pair of fingerless mitts. So yeah, so I will knit those for myself after I'm done at Garrett's. And then the last thing I decided to cast on was another shawl because I have a problem and I love knitting shawls. So if you guys have been watching me for a bit, I've knit this pattern twice. This will be my third time knitting this shawl. And I think originally, I think I showed you guys, I was going to use this yarn for a different shawl, but I wasn't loving it. I found the pattern to be very fiddly, and I don't like fiddly. I am the kind of person who likes kind of mindless knitting. That's just me. I'm not a technical knitter. I don't, you know, I love cables, and I do, like my pumpkin ale sweater is intricate cabling on the back, and that one was a lot of fun. But most of the time, especially I think right now, I just need mindless. And so as I was saying, I knit the Free Your Fade once in purple, and I've worn that shawl 4 times this week. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's my most worn shawl. It is pretty and it is easy to wear, and it's done in sock weight yarn, so it's nice and thin and light, but it still keeps you warm, right? So I'll like put it up underneath my winter coat. Now I knit another one because she also does the pattern in DK weight, so like double knitting. So I guess twice the thickness of a sock weight yarn. And I knit it in that, and you guys might remember it was like a purple and a blue and then a multicolored. I'm actually going to take it completely apart and repurpose the yarn because I'm not loving it. It's too big and bulky. I don't like something that thick for a shawl. I like drapey. And when it's that thick, it's just too much. It's actually too hot. You can't wear it, like, at least with the sock weight yarn ones, I wear it underneath my winter coat to go back and forth to work, but then while I'm at the office, I can still wear it on my neck and not feel like I'm sweltering. Do you know what I mean? And it still looks kind of fashionable, whereas that one was just a little too big and bulky for me. It's huge too. That's the other problem with it. So I think I'm going to repurpose the yarn. I might use the purple in it to make my niece a hat. I think I might use the blue for something else. And I think the multicolored might become a hat, another hat for me, which will be great because I need another DK weight hat, so we shall see. But anyway, I am going to tear that one apart. So I decided to knit another one because I really like with my purple one, a lot of people who knit this shawl, the Free Your Fade, I'll have a picture of it up here while I'm talking. Not of the one that I knit, but of the actual pattern picture. Is that you can use like just 3 different colors of yarn. And some people do like very drastically different colors. The whole thing is you're supposed to fade from one color to the other. So when I did my first one, it was all shades of purple. So it kind of still went, it was more of like an ombre kind of an idea where you go from like, I actually think I did medium, the light to the dark. It's underneath the bench over here, or else I'd grab it. I'll show it to you guys next time, in case you haven't seen it yet, because I don't think I have a picture of it. What I might do, you know what I'll do, is I'll take a picture of it across the back of the couch, and I'll insert it after this clip, so then you guys can see it. So, and I love it. I mean, I've gotten so many compliments on it. So I am knitting a new one, another one, and this is in shades of blue and silver, or blue and gray. So I'm super excited, and it's living in my Golden Girls bag, which I am addicted to. Sophia and Blanche and Rose and Dorothy. I just love it. She is my favorite. If you guys did not know that, she sits right there. There's my Sophia Funko Pop. I do love the Golden Girls. Now I have an urge to watch it again. So anyway, so the 3 colors I am using for this one, these are the same 3 colors I was going to use for that other shawl I was knitting, but in case you haven't seen it, I've got this gorgeous silver, and literally, do you see the sparkle in that? That's how sparkly that is. So I have started it. I just started it this morning, or this afternoon actually. So that's how far I am, not very far, but it's knitting up. Hit myself in the nose with my needle. There it is so far. I'm loving, loving, loving it. Then it's going to fade from this color into this color, which is called Winter Wonderland, and this is a No Makers colorway. I'm finally breaking down and using it. The yarn dyers that no longer dye yarn, the yarn that I have by them, I'm so afraid to use it because then it's going to be like gone. But no, I think this is the perfect thing for it because I'm going to have this for many, many, many years to come. So that fades into that. And then the last color. Isn't that gorgeous? Like that looks like a night sky, or you know what I mean? That's sparkle, you guys. That is sparkle. That is ridiculous. I bought these two at Rhinebeck 2 years ago. I couldn't pass them up. That sparkle just did me in. So I think this is gonna be gorgeous as a shawl. Like this, you couldn't do that as socks, in my opinion. It's just, I'd be so afraid of something happening to them, but a shawl. But isn't that going to be gorgeous? I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, so that is what I am working on. That's all of my knitting. Do I have the name of the sparkle yarn? The sparkle yarn is from a company called, oh yes, Flying Goat Farms is the company name. So there's their logo. Flying Goat Farm, yeah, flyinggoatfarm.com is their website. And this is the sparkle. It's a merino luxe, and the colorway of, okay, so the colorway of the silver one is called Lightning, and the colorway of the blue one is called Night Sky. I mean, that's perfect, right? And they're both the sparkly base, of course. Yeah, so I will leave link to them, to their company. If their website is still active, I'll leave it below, because again, I bought these 2 years ago. And I will also leave link to Night Owl Fibers for my sock yarn that I am using, because it is really, really pretty, and you guys should check it out. The Madeline Tosh that I'm using for Garrett's Mitts, and that you can buy at pretty much any yarn store. I don't want to say it's a commercial yarn, but it's almost like a commercial yarn because it's so readily available everywhere. You can also buy it on Webs, which is yarn.com. Great website if you're ever looking for yarn. And then the yarn for my sweater is from Knit Picks. It's their Knit Picks. It's their Brava Bulky, which is their bulky acrylic yarn, and it's like $1.99 a ball. It's ridiculously inexpensive and absolutely one of the best acrylic yarns I've ever used. They have it in sport weight, worsted weight, bulky weight, and they have like 30, 40 different colors. It is the best. And I always tell people, if you're going to knit something, especially sweaters, in my opinion, yes, I do have a sweater in Madeline. I have 2 sweaters in Madeline Tosh yarn, which is a luxury yarn, to be honest. But that's just because I had the money at the time and spent the money on the yarn. They were not cheap. And the problem is that I'm so afraid if something happens to them, if a moth gets at them, if, you know, if something pulls, if they end up accidentally going into the washing machine, they're going to get ruined. Whereas an acrylic yarn, in my opinion, for sweaters, an acrylic yarn, you can toss that in the wash, you can put it in the dryer, you're not going to destroy it. So, you know, I always say if you're going to spend that kind of money, or not that kind of money, that kind of time knitting something like a sweater, you're best to go with something that is harder wearing, if that makes sense. So yeah, so anyway, so that's about it, you guys, for this vlog. I do hope that you enjoyed it. I'm glad to be back doing this again. This has been really good for me this week to kind of get back into doing some normal things and some, you know, getting back to, it's been 10 days today. And I still have a hard time believing it, that Dad's no longer around. I was just looking for something and I found an old picture of him from like the late 70s, early 80s. So I put it up on top over here because I'm going to give it to my sister-in-law when I see her again and ask her to scan it for me, because she's been going through my mom's old photo albums and she's been scanning all the photos. So that's been great. Because at the celebration of life service that we're going to be having at the end, it's actually going to be at the end of February, which is fine. I think it kind of gives time to grieve personally before, you know, you've got a whole bunch of people kind of, does that make sense? And because it's a celebration of his life, it's not a funeral per se, right? But yeah, that's going to be at the end of February. And they're going to have pictures up, like Bristol board with lots of pictures. And my sister-in-law even said that they can do a slideshow because they have like a big screen, so they can do a slideshow. So that'll be nice. And we'll set it to some of his favorite music. Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. My aunt was telling me her and my uncle were going out yesterday, Dad's brother and sister, and because my aunt's got to do physiotherapy for her arthritis. And they were in the car, and American Pie by Don McLean came on, and that was his favorite song. All 22 minutes of it. That I know all the lyrics to that song, and without fail, any long car trip that we went on, that song got played every time. So yeah, so sorry. I've been good today. I do miss him terribly, and it's been really, really difficult. I try to come on here, and because most of the time I'm okay, and he would want me to be okay. But then sometimes, you know, and people keep telling me this will happen for a long, long time, and it may never stop. You know, it could be 20 years from now, and I'll be somewhere, maybe, you know, out, and I'll hear Brown Eyed Girl, or I'll hear something that reminded me of him, and I'll get sad, and I might even start to cry. I mean, we were really, really close, him and I. Like I think I said earlier in another clip, we were partners in crime. And yeah, sadly missed. Anyway, before I start bawling, I'm going to let you guys go. I did not want to end this on a sad note. I am sorry. But I'm sure a lot of you understand what it's like. I've heard from so many people who have also lost a parent, co-workers who have lost a parent, and understand how difficult it is, and especially when you were close. So that's been kind of nice, people reaching out, which has been fantastic. So that's all I have for you guys today. I will have some more. I am actually going to film a couple videos on Monday. I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to have another lazy day tomorrow. But on Monday, I'm going to film a couple videos. I've got a special one coming out that I was really looking forward at the beginning of the month to doing, and I didn't know, you know, like if I would still be in the mood to do it, but I do want to sit down and film that video. Plus, I've also got my February TBR that I am super excited about that I want to share with you guys. So that'll go up next week as well. So there'll be some content coming up for me on Tuesday and Thursday, and I will be vlogging all of next week. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys then. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.